remember listening to some of the recordings of the Four Seasons that have been released in the past years. There's about 1,000 available, but there are a couple of which are really a landmark in forming Vivaldi's music. And when I look to these people, to the way these bands from Italy or some other from England have been just playing this Vivaldi concerto on the violin, I thought I really want to play the Vivaldi Flute Concertos. These pieces by Vivaldi also bear titles like The Nights, The Goldfinch, or The Tempest on the Sea. And it is, in a way, very descriptive music and needs this strong character in the interpretation that I think the ACO provides in an ideal way.
It'd be great for us now to put something down on tape and know that we're going in the right direction too. So do you want to play this movement through?
The traverso flute was something pretty new in Italy at the time. It was actually existing in Germany already, and the young Quantz was traveling, and Quantz was actually the second generation master of this instrument in Germany already, so it had been around quite for a while, but it was just simply not used in Italy. Italy was very good at string instruments, organ music also, and some oratorios, vocal music had been there for quite a while. But woodwind music wasn't really in fashion before that, but from that moment in Vivaldi's life, he's been writing a lot for oboe and bassoon also, and for the traverso flute. Vivaldi's music isn't really very detailed in the orchestral parts. It's pretty limited to one solo part conversing together with other parts, and then you see very often he has been adding something in one part, doubling the amount of notes you would have within one beat, and finding certain patterns where you would go throughout a chord, which is very easy to play on a string instrument, but isn't that easy at all on the flute. This is why the Vivaldi Flute Concerto is pretty challenging for a flute player.
The reason we're here in Sydney making this recording with the Australian Chamber Orchestra is because of the relationship, I think, between Emanuel and the orchestra. They are technically highly proficient, musically very exciting, and Emanuel is equally absolute master of his instrument and musically always very interested to discover new ideas, new thoughts. This seemed to me a wonderful combination to make a great record, to see them working on stage together. They have this feeling of joy of playing together that is just impossible to ignore. Music like Vivaldi requires you to be always experimenting, always thinking, always making music.
You do not always know what is going to work best actually until you've actually tried it out.
And that's the great thing about Vivaldi, is that he's a great inventor and you've got to experiment. The Australian Chamber Orchestra is looking forward very much to touring this program with Emanuel, in 2006 in Europe.
Which is a great thing to have them there on my ground after having been here in Australia together with them on their ground. I'm really looking forward to that. I remember listening to some of the recordings of the Four Seasons that have been released in the past years. There's about 1,000 available, but there are a couple of which are really a landmark in the performing Vivaldi's music. And when I look to these people, to the way these bands from Italy or some other from England have been just playing this Vivaldi concerto on the violin, I thought I really want to play the Vivaldi Flute Concertos.